皆さん、こんばんは。本日の配信、ザ・ファーストツリーというね、ゲームの方をやっていきたいと思います。もうね、久しぶりにゲームらしいゲームをする。戦車ゲームの方は、あっちはもはや仕事です。はい。あっちの方はあれなんで、まあね、こうやって本格的にもうゲームらしいゲームをするのは久しぶりっていう感じがするね。ということ、配信していきたいと思いますの前に、待ってね。もろの設定をしてから大丈夫かな。大丈夫でしょ。さあ、ということで、私はしっかりゲームをしていきたいと思います。設定はクオリティを、字幕とか解説がないとね、何の話かもわからないし、そもそもね、大丈夫でしょ。さあ、それでは
Hi, my name is David Whaley, and I'm the creator of The First Tree. I also voice a character named Joseph. So I just wanted to introduce you to this commentary mode, tell you that you can find interesting things about how I made this game by touching the speech bubbles you see in the world. So I hope you enjoy it.
Are you awake? I thought I heard you get up.
Yeah, I'm awake. Sorry, I just can't sleep.
Are you thinking about him?
Yeah, a bit. You should get back to sleep, my love. I'm fine.
No, it's okay. What else is on your mind?
I don't know. It seems weird, but I had one of the most vivid dreams of my life. I saw a fox on a snowy mountain, just looking confused and worried. Those eyes. I can't get those eyes out of my head. She was running in the windy snow, looking for something.
Do you think it has to do with you and what's been going on?
I don't know. It was just a dream, Rachel. They're not meant to make sense. A lot's happened the past couple days, that's all.
Well, if you're not going to sleep anyway, you should tell me. I want to hear.
All right.
こんばんは。はい。ちょっとごめんね。今ゲーム起動した方がよかったんだけど、マウスが反応してくれなくて、ちょっとごめんね。余計なのを閉じよう。せっかく今いい雰囲気でゲームしていたんだ。だけどね、変な邪魔が入ってしまった。よいしょ。できた。さあ次はよく起動してくれ。起動してほしい。よし。もう失敗しない。さあ、ということで、さあ、行ってみましょう。
Hi, my name is David Whaley, and I'm the creator of The First Tree. I also voice a character named Joseph. So I just wanted to introduce you to this commentary mode, tell you that you can find interesting things about how I made this game by touching the speech bubbles you see in the world. So I hope you enjoy it.
Are you awake? I thought I heard you get up.
Yeah, I'm awake. Sorry, I just can't sleep.
ちょっと声大
Are
き
you
い。
thinking about him?
これぐらいか
Yeah, a bit. You should get back to sleep, my love. I'm fine.
No, it's okay. What else is on your mind?
I don't know. It seems weird, but I had one of the most vivid dreams of my life. I saw a fox on a snowy mountain, just looking confused and worried. Those eyes. I can't get those eyes out of my head. She was running in the windy snow, looking for something.
Do you think it has to do with you and what's been going on?
最近の出来事と
I
関
don't
係
know.
あるっていうこと
It
は
was just a
これ
dream, Rachel. They're not
でも
meant
た
to
だの
make
夢なんだ
sense.
よね。
A lot's happened the past couple days, that's all.
Well, if you're not going to sleep anyway, you should tell me. I want to hear.
でないんだったら。まあ寝ちゃうとこの夢を見るんだろうね、多分。とりあえず前に進むしかないよね。何があったんだろう。いわゆるこれは夢の話っていうことかしら。まあ多分そうかもしれないけど、とりあえずまずは行けるところをまず進んでいくしかないね。でも走れないんだから、そこだけは何とかしてほしい。走ればおこのキツネすごいな。普通に空中ジャンプできたし。まあそんなこと言ってても仕方がないけれど。さあとにかく何を果てを去ってまずゲームを進めればいいかわからないから。まあとりあえず目の前の光に向かっていけばいいんだね。多分。なんかこのゲーム
So it's usually at this point where people say something like, this is not the kind of game I was expecting. And that happened a lot at PAX West when I showed it. We'd have little kids play it, but then they see a dead fox cub, or kit is technically the word, but cub sounds, I don't know, it sounds better. Like Wes Anderson uses it in Fantastic Mr. Fox, so I thought cub would be alright. But anyway, having this game, I wanted it to be more serious. This game's based on dealing with the death of my father, which was the hardest thing that's ever happened to me and my family. But I don't want to talk about it here, and I didn't want to talk about it with anybody really. To this day, still, it's very personal, and that's why I made this game. That's exactly the reason, because I wanted to get those feelings out and like communicate with people without like talking about it. And so that's what The First Tree is. It's me dealing with my feelings, and it was a personal project, and it was just me, and it actually, like, I'm really glad I made it, but it wasn't easy to make, I guess is what I'm saying.
日本語の字幕つけてほしいな。せめて。でも字幕と解説モードはついてんだよね。なんかもうこの時点ですでに。
So, not far from her home, she followed that path to something unexpected.
この時点でもう悪い予感しかしない。 い予感しかしないけど。まずは話を進め
She
しかないん
couldn't
だよ。
stay though. She had to find her other two children,
ああ、な
so
る
she
ほど。
took that path. She followed it towards something ancient, something with answers.
進んでいって進んでいくしかないんだね。綺麗な場所だね。なんかもうはるかに広がる雪原。
The fox looked high and low, searching for any sign of her cubs. Points of light showed the way to this ancient tree. It was as if each one had a story to tell, all their own. The land was trying to tell my story too.
この光
I
を
felt
辿っ
like
て
I
い
was
けば
right behind her the whole
何か
time.
が分かってくるんだろうね。この辺中光にも見れてるよ。なんかある。これはアニー
The bunnies were added because my wife, Elise, who also voices Rachel in the game, who's also helped a ton to make the game, as we were playing, she just said the world felt kind of empty and not alive enough. So I knew we needed to add some kind of life, and so the bunnies was like the first idea that came to
さ
mind.
すがに枯れないか。
And like most of the game, I used like publicly available assets to speed up production because I was working full time along with making this game, and we just had our first baby, a little girl named Evelyn. So I was messing with this asset called Herd Sim, and at one point, like the generation script that creates variations of the sizes of the bunny. One time I got out of control and it made like this monster bunny that towered over everybody. And I shared that GIF on Imager and Reddit, and that was a huge hit. It helped definitely gain an audience for this game. But it's hard because this game is like so serious. It's about life and death, not giant bunnies. But I knew I needed something like a shout out to that because it was pretty fun. So if you're able to catch all the bunnies on this map, I think there's around 13, then you'll get a special surprise. So good luck.
できれば日本語の字幕が欲しかった。何かとても大切なことを伝えようとする気がする。ああ、BGM いい。BGM いいね、このゲーム。壮大だね。それよりも BGM が大きいね。結構ありかし。このところもうちょっと設定しておけばよかった。とりあえず。公園とかに置いてあるホッピングだね。なんか壊れちゃってるけど。あそこに何かある。よく見ると何かある。いかにも重大そうな何か。なんでしょうこれ。
As a kid, did you ever do show and tell in your class?
Yeah, I think I only did it once when I was in the 4th grade. You know how my life was around then. I wanted to show my class what helped pass the time and distracted me.
違い
So
ま
I
す。
brought a dozen paper
同
cranes I
性
had
です
made.
同性。
I think I told everyone how badly I wanted to be a
オ
bird
スの
and
キツネじゃな
fly,
くてメスのキツネで
embarrassingly enough.
す。違います。
Don't be embarrassed. Every kid wants to fly.
まあ子供はみ
For
んな
me,
持
it was
つ
another toy
夢
from
は
my
持つよ
dad,
ね、そ
a
りゃ。
wooden boat.
どんな
I
恥ずか
remember
しいことで
guarding
も
it
ね、
so
やっぱり。
carefully in my hands as I walked into class. When I sat down, a group of boys immediately made fun
子
of
供
it.
の頃にもらっ
They
たやっ
asked
ぱり
which
ものって
trash can
ね、
I found it in, or why an
やっぱ宝
ugly
物にな
log
る
was
よ
my
ね。
favorite toy.
どんなものであっても
When。I got up, I didn't even want to tell them my dad had carved it. I said it was a joke gift my friend had given me.
Kids can be so cruel.
Some of them
ね
are.
平
I
気
shouldn't
で
have let them get to
飛
me,
ばしてくる
but
から
it
ね。
did. It's amazing we bounced back at all.
ってことで、こんばんは、出落ちでしたダブル。
ミートさん、こんばんは。ここ数日はこのゲームをね、どんどんやっていくよ。雰囲気ゲーっていうやつなのかな、多分そうだと思うよ。まあ一つ癒しになってくれればいいな。いろんなところに何かの目印が何かあるんだね。こんなところに目印がこんなところにあるって言ってもなかなか大変だよね、探すの。これじゃ本当に当てもなくさまようしかないじゃん。でも多分そういうゲームなんだろうね、これ。朝からと思うけど、あそこに向こうの方に広がってる、光ってる、あれももしかして。いやー、でも行ってみないと分かんないから行ってみよう。いや、それにしてもちょっとこれエリア広くないかな、これ。予想以上に広いよ、これ。なんか普通にオープンワールド、そのままオープンワールドじゃん。なんかここら辺光ってたんだけど、広い。思った以上に広い。こんなに広いの？これはいかにもここの辺りに何かがあるって言ってるような感じがするんだけど、そういうわけでもなかった。そして向こうの方にもまたあっちにある。いやー、それにしても広いね。ほんと広い。広いっていうか、多分実際のこの場所を調査してそのまま作ったのかな。ちょ飛べないっていうか、あれを取れない。取れる前提で作られてるはずなんだけど取れない。そっか、ダブルジャンプできたんだ。多分実績でこれとかも手に入れてこいっていう話なんだしね。あれ、このゲームはもしかしたらこのステージだけなんじゃない？これって多分そんな感じだと思う。また何かある。あった。
Usually those kids would leave me alone, but somehow they could tell I was different. They made fun of how far away I lived. They called my dad a sourdough. I was a blabbermouth as a kid, telling my dad stories I made up for hours. But after
何
that
かし
show
ら
and
の差
tell,
別があっ
I didn't tell him
たの
much
か
anymore.
なこ
He
れ。
didn't know exactly what was wrong, but his best guess was that the toys he carved weren't cool enough. He carved me a tank and tried to tell me what it was like to be in a real tank as a serviceman.
あ
I didn't know your dad was in the military.
Yeah,
な
in
る
the
ほど。
army.
そういうこと
The
か。
sad thing is that I'd pretty much forgotten until just now. There's so much I still don't know about him.
そう。
I'm sorry. He knows how much you love him. You're going to see him again soon and have some closure, I'm sure.
そして戦車要素。やったぜ。こんなゲームにまさかの戦車要素が出てくるとは思わなかった。まあ、偶然のあれだけどね。
A lot of people have gotten confused
やっぱりアラスカ
why
とかそっ
Joseph's
ちの方面
father
なんだ
is
ね。
called a
原住
sourdough.
民で。
And
そしてこの寒い
it's not stated
冬の
outright at
節
the
言
beginning of the game, but
これはもうアラ
Joseph
スカ
and
とし
his
か言いようがない
dad,
んだ
they
よ
grew up in
ね。
Alaska.
ってことはカナダあたり。
And I don't have a real connection to Alaska except through friends who lived there, and it was also the place that me and my dad were going to go right before he passed away.
が出兵
But
し
I love the
て
idea
ヨーロ
of
ッパ方
Alaska
面
being
の方
like this
に
beautiful solitary place.
行った
But
って
anyway,
いうあれ
that,
も
what
あ
that
る
has to
し
do with sourdough is it's an Alaskan slang term about like someone who lives in the backwoods, like a redneck in Alaska. So I thought that was just to put some authenticity into the game. I added that word.
日本語で OK。まあ登れるはずがあると思うんだけど。これ全部探索するだけでもなかなか時間がかかるな、これは。ああ、でも。どっかの高いところに何か登る必要があるんだよね、実は。ああ、これはこれはロシア戦車にも見えるし、なんだろう。いや、これはまさかの戦車要素。なんだろう。頭があれだし。なんか一瞬レオパルドいや、レオパルドだとヨーロッパだっけ。なんだっけ。なんだろう。なんかレオパルド系統とかそういう感じがする。なんだっけ。アメリカの方の戦車ってなんて言うんだっけ、あれ。レオパルドにね。レオパルドだっけ。なんかでもアメリカの戦車だから多分なんだ、近代戦車この頃見てないからね。多分でもそうだと思うんだよね、見た感じ。頭の大きい後頭のこの丸型だし。レオパルドなんだかそんな感じがする。
こんばんは。
はい、なるさんこんばんは。また一つ何かがあったこれはアヒルのお人形だね。衣で紐をくくりつけて引っ張るやつ。この戦車なんだっけかな。 やっぱりアメリカのものだと思うし、プロジェクトではないと思うし、やっぱりアメリカの戦車だと思うんだよね。一瞬ソ連とかそっちの方面のあれかとも思ったけど、それにしてもちょっと系統がちょっと違うような気がする。次の光ってる場所、長い、広い、寒いね。あ、皆様、私の声聞こえます？ BGM でなんかこう、私の声があまり聞こえないとか、そういうことありません？むしろうるさすぎとか。そういうことあった場合は、皆さん言ってくださいね、漏れなく。大草原の厳しさ、寒さ。動物だから、そういう生き死にもよくあることだし、それでもね、強く生きて、子孫を残して、次につなげる。でも、そしたらこの母親のこの狐は何のために、こうやって走り回ってんだろう。何かを多分ね、示唆はしているんだよね。
Do you remember what my dad did for a living?
Wasn't he like a lumberjack?
That's one way of putting it. If wood was a canvas, then a carving knife was his
あ
paintbrush.
あ、彫刻家
Even
かね。
after working a 50-hour
なるほど。
week,
だ
even
から
after
木で
his
彫った
hands
もの
were
も
more splinters
あれ
than
なんだね。
skin, he would bring home the nicest piece of Alaskan weeping cedar and make me toys. That wooden train was the first toy I can remember, and I loved it. I just knew from a young age I was going to be a lumberjack, like my father.
いや、でもまあなんか父親のようなあれになるんだって思ってる時点で、まあいい人だとは思うよ。私は全然そう思わない人だった。親父の後を継げだ？ちょっと待ってね。私の顔でちょっと邪魔になってるから、少しこっちに移動しよう。どれ？果たしてこの語っている人が、この話は全ては何かをあれしてるんだろうね。てか人生そのものをゲームとしてこうやって作ってるっていう感じなんだろうね。あ、なんか上にある。登れるかな。これは一つステージだけでも長いだろうね。何かあるね。高い。車だね。まあ見た通りだけどね。見た通りだよ。でも何かが多分思い出の一つなんだろうね。あ、思い出か。このゲームはもしかしてこの語り部の人たちの思い出っていうやつなのかもしれない。記憶じゃないと思う。多分思い出的な何か、多分そういうことを表してるんだ。 こうやって走ると絵になるね。広く果てしないね、本当に。いや、これがつまんないっていうかどうかは人による。多分ね、展開とか演出とかそういうものが大好きな人たちだったら、多分つまんないって言うかもしれないけど、私はね、私個人的としては、こういう雰囲気なゲームっていうのはね、結構好き。あれ、もう次行っちゃった。ちょっと待って。あ、時間制なのか。なるほど。じゃあ急ごう。時間制数、多分そういう感じだと思う。また一つ。
My teenage years were full of sketching, angst, and trouble. I wasn't popular or unpopular. Maybe just forgettable. I guess that gave me a sense of freedom. So I hung out with crazy kids, doing crazy things, even though I mostly just watched the chaos
逆
ensue.
に何もね、
We did it
なん
all.
かこう
Put
差は
fireworks
割
in
れることもない
mailboxes,
から
hide
逆
roadkill in
にいろん
people's
なことが自由
garages,
には
break windows at the
できてたんだよね。
barber shop in Anchorage. My dad was furious, but he was so busy working he couldn't do much to stop
郵
me
便
from
箱に
going
花
out.
火を入れたり、人の
I
倉庫
think
に
being
引
an
きたの
adult
封筒を
means
隠したり、
there's no one to
そ
stop
れ
you
な
making
かな
hard
かひどいことを
decisions.
してるね。
He had to make a living, and he couldn't be in two places at once.
Yeah, I realize that now. But at the time, I was sure he was more interested in growing his business than what was going on with me.
なるほど。この人もいろんなことしてたんだな。大人になるって悲しいことなの。
This is the level that I showed at PAX West, which was a crazy dream come true that this hobby project was being shown next to all these amazing indie games.
ここになん
So I
かこう
decided
字
to
幕
show
出て
this
きて
level
くれないの
because
かな。
it's smaller, there's like some jumping puzzles, and I thought it was a good entry into the game. But the one thing I can't seem to forget is right before we opened to the public, there was an indie dev superstar. Like, you've definitely
今ダブ
heard
ル
of
ジャン
his
プができなかっ
games.
た。
And I was like terrified. He wanted to try it out. So I said, of course, like, please give me your feedback. And he was super nice, super talented, of course. But this embarrassing bug happened, which I'd never seen before in my life, where when he dug the item up, he jumped right after, and it created the dust cloud to permanently be on the
一回
rest
の
of
ジャ
the
ンプじゃ
level. It
届かない
wouldn't
よう
turn
なあれ
off.
だったんだ。
So it looked like
後から
this
この
fart
ダブルジャン
cloud
プをつけたの
following
ね。
the fox
な
as
る
it
ほ
just
ど。
kept running with this beautiful music and
いや、そう
serious
かもね。
voiceover. And it was just, it was horrible. I think about that every
一回
time
のジャ
I
ンプじゃ
look
届
at
か
this
ないところ
level.
がたくさんあった。
But, you know, I was able to fix it, so I'm glad
ま
I'm
あ、やっ
glad
て
someone
みて
could
やっ
at
と分
least
かること
find
がある
that
よ。
bug.
また何かあった。
I always wanted this game to be very meditative and relaxing, but I know there's a balance between keeping the player's interest. So I added this butterfly jumping mechanic just to like spice things up. I used a plugin called Playmaker for Unity, which in a visual editor lets you do interactive things, which is perfect for me because I do come from a film and design background.
何あれ。
But on the flip side, I really wish I was good at code because this jumping mechanic, the jumping mechanic in the whole game actually has frustrated a lot of players. But hopefully I've been able to fine tune it, so it should feel a lot better now. I would just hate that this meditative game would get frustrating.
少し
So I've definitely like
ジャン
I've
プ力
lowered
が
the
高くなる
gravity.
よ
I've
みた
made
い
the
な。
jumps more consistent. So hopefully people can just focus on the
あれ
world and the story.
この街のあれか。パトか。机だって。やっぱ
He
り
was
これは
working
何かの
another
思い
late
出なんだ
night,
よ、これ。
and my friends were over, saying how bored they were and how they had come all the way out to my house for nothing. One of them mentioned how that old, ugly beyond belief truck was still in the garage, and how we should take it for a spin. I was only 15,
不格好な
so
ト
I
ラッ
kind
ク
of
に出か
fought
け
it for a
て。
while.
なる
The
ほ
next
ど。
thing I knew, we were careening around the mountain path, rocks spitting onto the sides of the cliff, while my dad's cringeworthy bluegrass blared out the speakers. I drove while my friends were in the back of that yellow and purple truck, throwing beer bottles and trash at anything
投
remotely
げつけてた。
interesting.
ひでひで。悪い
Felt
こと
like
する
I
ね
was。soaring in the air with borrowed wings.
そう、どんなこ
But
と
all
でも
good
楽
things
しい
have
ものはね、
endings.
ずっとは続かないよ。
A cop outside at Eagle River pulled us over after he saw us in a bottle rocket
警
into
察
someone's
が
yard.
車へ止めてきたのさ。
What followed was a long night of talking to disappointed adults and feeling smaller than ever.
まあ、若気の至りというかさ、誰一人そういうものあるさ。そういうもんだよ。でもそういう思い出ってね、後になってみるとさ、なんかこうかけがえのない思い出になるよね。私はなんとなくそういうの好き。今にしては私がね、こう学生の頃とかでやった悪いことなんてまずほとんどなかったもん。今にしてはもうちょっとね、いろんなことをしておけばよかったなって。なるほど、わかりやすい説明。秋口というか、緑は生い茂ってるよね。それがどうしたって言いたくなるけど、いいじゃない。そういうさ、なんか季節を感じるというかさ、なんかこう季節感を感じるのってまた一ついいじゃない。全てをさ、刺激的なことだらけ、そういうものをずっと味わっていけばいいとは思うかもしれないけど、一回時にはその場で立ち止まってね、周りのものに一回興味関心を示してみる。こういうのもね、またいいことがあるんじゃないかなって私自身は思う。今にして思えば、なんでしょう、説明力とかそういうものをもうちょっと身につけた方が良かったなって私は小さい頃からの自分を少し後悔する。普通に降りていいのかな、多分。他のとこから行ける場所もあったんだね。あっちはまた別かな。あれ、あっちにも何かある。気づかなかったけど。なんかあっちにある気がする。 然があるね。一人でやる分には面白いゲームかもしれないし、人が見てても面白くないゲームかもしれない。ロケット花火、昔いろいろこういうもので遊んだよね。ロケット花火は上に撃つものですまあそういうのもね、簡単に言えば昔ね、昔というかみんなするだろうけど、ロケット花火を横に打ち上げて各所そこら辺にこのぶつけるみたいな感じでねまあ面白いことよくやったよね。ロケット花火横向きにやってたくさんそこら辺パラスなんてね。はい、ライクさんこんばんは。どうもね、ずっとコメント誰も来てないかなって思ったけど、今更にしてね、コメントがどうやら反応してなかったことに今気づいた。いやーごめんねサラダさんごめんね、来てることに気づいてなかった。全然ねチャット欄が動いてなかったのよ今ほとんど探索ゲー、うんだね、雰囲気の探索ゲー、そういう感じ。いや本来ならね、ソフトークのゆっくりボイスが鳴るはずなんだけど、今全然鳴ってなかったから、ああそうかみたいな感じで思ってたけどね、今にして気づいたし。なんと危険な賭け走り。あっちに何かある。トラックこれはね、多分制作者さんの思い出を多分綴ったゲームだと思う。
After he drove me home from the police station, I blew up at him, saying how I never wanted to be like him, how I was gonna be someone and leave that hick icebox for
よ
good.
くあることだよね。
He just
大物
looked
になっ
forward
て
at the
田舎
road
者
with
の
tired
住む
eyes.
ところを出てってやる。
I took out that
よくある
bluegrass
話
tape
だ
from
ね。
the cassette deck and chucked it out the window. In my sage teenage wisdom, I thought I proved the ultimate point.
なるほど。
But my dad had a different idea. He slammed the brakes, slowly bowed his head while gripping the steering wheel, and finally looked at me. All he said, like it was a polite request, was,
なるほど、正しい
"Make
こと。
this right."
まあね、目立つこ
I
とだけ
sat
じゃ
there in
全て正
silence,
しい。
fuming, but I eventually got out and combed every square inch of the woods, muttering profanity after profanity. I found it 30 minutes later, near a small waterfall off the road. I went back to the truck, put the wet tape back in,
よくそこまで
and sure
探した
enough
ね、
it
カセッ
worked. We didn't speak another word to each other the rest of the night.
Wow, I knew you were a crazy teenager, but
It's hard to believe,
結構
isn't
やん
it?
ちゃだね。
Surprises me too.
結構やんちゃだね。
It's like I didn't really know who that kid was back then. I bet my dad thought the same thing over and over. It's almost like he was saying, "Make this right," to himself, more than to me.
なんというかやんちゃというか、まあ10代ってさ、無限に湧き上がってくる自己肯定感があるじゃない。なんかわかる、謎の肯定感というか、なんか説明すると難しいけれど、何でもできる、今の私なら何でもできるっていう謎の自信、根拠のない自信みたいなね、そういうものあるよね。でも働いてみて、それがね、ある程度知識が身についてくると、なんていうかね、自分の現実っていうものをよーくよーくね、理解してくるんだよね。そう、このゲームは多分もうナレーターの人がだんだん大人になっていくにつれてのゲーム、そ そういうゲームなんだろうと私は思う。落ちていいのこれ。落ちていいのワイは。ああってことはこの竹の下にカセットテープがあるんじゃない？そしたらそれよりもまずあそこをなんとかして撮りたい。多分そうなんだと思うな。
なるほど、なかなかに大人なゲームですね。
そうだね。ギターというか届かない。これどうやって撮るの？無理やり行くしかね。いやいやいやいやいや、どこにも登れそうな感じがしないんだけど。無理やり行けって。マジかよ。いやいやいやいや、そういうゲームこれ。こっから行ける感じもしないんだけど。いやいやいやいやいや、無理無理無理無理。何で行けっていうのこれ。無理やり。ああ絶対正しくないなこれ。いや行ける感じしないんだけどな。登れそうな場所があっても登れない。どうやって行くのこれ。壁が高すぎて無理なんだけど。あ、2つ取るとその分のあれがあるとかもしかして。まさかそんなはず。
You may have noticed there's a little pond here, and believe it or not, I
日本語で
tried everything I
Okay.
could to get swimming working in this game, and
い
I
や
just
マ
could
ジで
not do it,
マジでせめて字
unfortunately.
幕つけて。
And so all the water in this
知りたいん
game
だ
you
けど。
can just stand in,
あ、
which
スイミング。
is, it still like
なるほど、
bums me
泳
out.
げるよと。
The systems were
な
not
るほど。
working, it was buggy, so I just had to throw it out, which, you know, I think it's
泳げ
okay.
るこれ。
Like I wish it was there,
全然
but
普通に歩いてる
again,
だ
the
けなんだけ
focus
ど。
of this game is on the story.
それともあれ泳ぐ動作もつける予定だったけどモーションが意外とめんどくさいからやめましたみたいな、なんとなくそんな感じがする。そういうことじゃない？多分。もう2つつけられる？2つつけられるんだったらあれ届くんじゃない？もうちょっとなんかあれしてほしかったけど。届くかな？うん。いやー、届かない。届かない。ちょっと待って。それは、ちょっと待ってよ。もういいわ。もういい。もう別な方法で言ってやるよ。そしたらもういちいちもう頑張るのもめんどくさい。無理やり言った。
My biggest hope for the players that are playing is that they realize how similar these two parallel stories are. Of this fox looking for her missing cubs, and also of this son reconnecting with his father. And so I try to add little touches in the voiceover and in the environment to help draw those parallels, even if they seem totally dissimilar. A big example is the truck, for instance, that Joseph grew up with. It's purple and yellow like the butterflies for this fox. So I tried to add as many touches like that throughout the story as possible.
日本語で OK。 マジで字幕つけて。てか知りたいからさ、なおさら気になるんだけど、何かを伝えてるんだけどもさっぱりわからない。私の英語力じゃ全然わからない。これももしかしてもう一回紫のあれを取ってこいと？マジで3つ3つはい。ほら マジかよ。ちょっと待って、3つ？どこ ?3 つって。めんどくさい。あ、なんかある。何これ。バービーショップ。いや、違う。この下に何かがあるのかと思いつつ、さすがにこっちには何もない。でも子供の時ってさ、行った人いるかはわからないけどさ、こういう滝の落ちてる場所あるじゃん。まあそこに向かってね、上からジャンプしてピュージャボーンみたいなことをね、やった人いるかな。まあ私は何回かやったことあるけど、夏の間にやるあれは最高だったね。あれ、包丁がつかない。あれはね、非常に楽しかったな。今にして思えばいい思い出だな。さあ、この状態であと2つは探せという。もう一つの蝶々を探せと言いなさる。どっかにあったっけかな。ないね。あ、下にある。これであっちの方に行けるはず。
My friends would laugh about that night and talk about how
怒涛
crazy
の
it was,
夜だった。
and I laughed along, pretending it didn't bother me. But it did. I imagined my friends growing old in the bush, unable to find that thrill in those godforsaken ice fields. It's like those mountains were a literal wall, keeping me from leaving, where all I would have to look forward to are lumber yards and evening beers.
ああ、なるほど。
I
でも
had
後
to
にして
climb
みればね、
over. That was my only goal
そ
for
の
a
働い
long
てる意
time.
味、まあ後々に理解できるんでしょう。そう、親父は偉大だった。父親は偉大だった。多分その父親自身もね、もっとお金とかね、そういうことできるんだったらもっと街とかにも出ていきたいところだけど、それが何のためか。まあもちろんね、子供のためというか家族のためというか。
If there was some way I could take my love of drawing and turn it into a way of escape, nothing would make me happier. I wanted to create instead of tearing trees down. I wanted to move to the lower 48, not because I hated it there in Alaska, but I hated the idea of it. It's like all of that spite inside me had created this monster which followed me around my whole teenage years. I put so much energy into doing what others didn't expect of me. Why did I do that?
There's one fact you're forgetting, though. If you didn't have that fire in you, we probably would have never met.
You're absolutely right. Maybe the destination is all that matters in the end. But then why am I awake? Why am I seeing this fox go on her journey? And why can't I stop thinking about my
何
dad?
かこう父親に何か謝りたいことがあるような感じがする。っていうか、ありがとうって一番言いたかったのかな。反面教師になってくれたとか、それともなかなか考えられるゲームだな。 と私は思う。大人になった見方とね、子供の時の見方ってやっぱり全然違うしね。それに大人になってからだとね、友達との付き合い方っていうのもちょっとね、まあ中学とか小学校の時からのね、付き合いの友達だったらいいけれど、大人になってしまうとね、大人になった時の友達ってよほどなことがない限り、なんて言うんだろう、心からの付き合い方ってないよね。まあそれでもね、この、まあ、コミックマーケットとか同じ趣味を持つ友達は何歳になってもそれは仲のいい友達ってか、やっぱりね、結構仲良くはなれるよね。それが一番の救い。なんだろう。
I did want to do something a little different with this level. I wanted it to be more open world feel,
オープンワール
and
ド。
that there was something blocking your progress. So it did
そうなんだよ
encourage
ね。
people
この
to
ゲーム
look
なんでそんな
closely
に
and
広い世
see
界にあり
how
ま
to
したんだろう。
unlock this blocked way. And I do like just walking around this level and listening to the beautiful music by Josh Kramer. His work really sets the mood for the whole game.
でも多分ね、なんでこんなにオープンワールドにしたかって、多分一本道にしたくなかったっていうか、なんというかね、ゲームは自由であるべきだっていう風な考えがあったんじゃないかなって私はちょっとやってて思う。ゲームに決まった道筋はないって言ってるような気がしてならない。でもだからってマジでどっから何があるかが分かりづらいのがちょっと困るところ。いや本当に広いのよ、無駄に。できれば瞬間移動とかシュンっていける術が欲しい。
My dad built a lot of stuff in his free time. If he wasn't watching fly fishing or reading Tom Clancy novels, he was carving something.
糸釣りの番組を
He
見てい
made
た。
tons of birdhouses. Not that he was into bird watching, but I think he really missed working and adding on to the home. If he couldn't afford the time to build onto our own house, he would have to settle with watching birds move into their little homes. We kept an old mattress in the bed of that ugly yellow truck,
なんだろう。
so we would drive it deep into the woods and then watch the birds fly into their houses while the sun set. Usually it was accompanied by venison jerky or cold Coke, but not a lot of talking, which is how we both liked it.
いや、広いね。広いね。ほんと広いわ。まさに雰囲気ゲーっていう正しいゲームだ。
Earlier I said I just love going through video games and exploring, like looking at
によ
every
っ
nook
て
and
多分いろい
cranny
ろ
and
解
just
釈
trying
が
to find
違
little
うゲームになるの
details.
かな。
And I think that started because in middle school and high school, I would make mods for my favorite games, namely Jedi Knight, Jedi Outcast, and Far Cry. And I loved like this huge world of mod makers who would make these levels and it'd be like the most random creative things, and I would just love exploring, usually multiplayer levels by myself. So even though I went to college for film, before that, like before high school, I was making video games and mods, and it was my favorite thing in the world. I made a ton of different levels. I made an abandoned space hotel with a dance floor and cafeteria. I made a haunted campground with cabins and tents.
I made this whole city with like the first ever day-night cycle with running showers and stuff in the hotel and the apartment buildings.
ほとんど
And
な
I
んて
just
言ってる
love
かわか
making
らな
those
いよ。
mods. And I think
どう
that
し
carries
よう。
over to
コメントし
my
づれ。
game, The First Tree, and also the one before that, Home is Where One Starts, which is it's exploration. You're just looking around and appreciating the details.
遠い。ちょっと待って。ここ溶岩地帯。もともと何か溶岩があったような感じの木目だけど。いや、これ普通に岩場とかそういうことを表現したかったのかな、これは。これ一回じゃ多分理解できないのかな、もしかしたら。一回だけじゃなくて、多分何回かやって、やっと理解できるようなゲームなのかもしれない。いや、それにしてももうちょっとな、あっちの方に何か。いや、これどっからか上に登れる術が欲しい。壁か。なかなか地図が分かりにくい。オープンワールドとは言うけれど、これ多分日本で出てたら多分ゲームの無でもなしって言われるようなゲームって言われそうな感じがしそうなのが、まあ日本人の悲しいところというか、そういうゲームがあってもいいじゃないと言いたくなるけど、
We were happiest underneath the evergreens. We decided it was time to finally map out the hundreds of acres we lived on just to pass the time during the summer. He was only free in the evenings, so I would spend the day wasting time on dial-up internet and sketching, and then we would rush into the woods, pen and map in hand, before evening fell.
ダイヤルアップ式のインターネット。
Sometimes the aurora borealis would cast a cold green glow on the mountainside, and we would finish our route underneath a
懐
twilight
かしいと
sky.
いうか、私世代じゃないんだよね。
Sometimes I was lonely during those summer days, but there was comfort in the routine.
A lot of teenagers aren't looking for the daily grind, though. There's nothing wrong with wanting to get out, to leave your childhood home. You wanted to progress, to make something of yourself.
まあそうだね。
Yeah, you're right. That house. I'm sure it's the same as how I left
カ
it.
セットだ。
Then why does it feel so different?
I doubt you're the only adult to have looked back and asked that question.
まあ、だって苦しいわ。いろいろね。はい。またチャット欄が止まってた。なんかよく止まるんだよね。あ、イオナちゃん、今更気づいたよ。はい、サラダさん。お疲れね。イオナちゃん、今気づきました。ちょくちょくチャット欄がね、私から見えるチャット欄がちょくちょく止まるんです。気づいてないことすみません。まさに本当に許してください。ごめんなさい。殺さないでください。これである程度また探しに行きたいけど、今度はどこに行けばいいんだろう。さあ、どっか登れる場所があるでしょう。さすがに。さすがに。ね。 さすがにどっか登れるところがないと話が進まない。進まないんだよ。無理やり登ったけど。ていうか真っ黒すぎてね、さっぱり見えない。探索ゲーとはいえ、ここまで探索ゲーだとはって思いたくなる。こっち？まだこっちから登れるという話。やっと登れるところがあったよ。これは？何これ？これは？これをあと2つやれば何かが起きる。でもその前にここからどうやって抜け出せばいいんだろう。それがわからない。どこ？ここはどこ？マジでわからないよ。オープンワールドといってももうちょっとあれしてほしいが、マップが欲しい。単純に。なんだろう。階か？なんだろうこれ。基本的にいろんな色合いがあるね。この時期は夏なのかな？いや、春なのかな？どこかまだ探せるところはたくさんあるんだけど、移動がめんどくさい。まあ、それでも、楽しいっちゃ楽しい。いや、でもここまでさすがに何もないのは、それもどうかと思うけどね。実際、ウサギの一匹に引きぐらいでもいた方が彩りがあるっちゃある。何これ？フィッシングボート。ほう。いや、これそういうこと書かれても分かりづらいんだよね。てか目印が小さい。他には？あれだね。やっと何か探せるじゃん。こうやって眺めるとなんかこういかにもゲームらしいよね。あそこにあった。もう一つの石。
I don't think The First Tree could work at all without the music by Josh Kramer. And his music, it's actually publicly available to license, and so it was affordable for me since this was a hobby project. And it's something I like to tell new indie developers all the time, like, you can't afford that composer, you can't afford a full-time programmer, you need to cut corners and finish your game, and the way to do that is to use these amazing publicly available assets that anyone can purchase and license. And so his music it's incredible, and I actually haven't talked to him that much, I've just emailed him. But his music was nominated for Most Emotional Music at the Emotional Game Awards in France, and he's just a really nice guy. And I think there's so much amazing content out there that if you're thinking of making a game, like, look around and see what you can make work on a tight budget.
ミュージッ
Because
ク
it
担
worked
当
really
人
well
に
for the
音
first
楽を
tree.
頼んでみたけど、想像以上にいいものができたので大変感謝しています。多分そんな感じのことを言っているだろうと。
Even at my most distant, at the times when I detested him the most, he kept reaching out. For a year straight, he asked me every week when we were going camping. I thought he was just dense. Eventually, to shut him up, I agreed.
キャンプ
We
ね。
carried out the worn lawn chairs from the garage and set up a cinder block campfire at the site we'd always used behind the house. We walked down the mountain path, talking in the warm sunshine we only got a couple months of the year. Those 3 obsidian rocks shimmered alongside the shore, almost like sparklers pressed against a dark window. I'll never forget that wet stone on my feet, or how those massive mountains looked even bigger in the lake's reflection. I felt small, but grateful. As the sun set, my dad found something I hadn't seen for a long time. The tree where I'd made my first carving when I was 6. I hadn't even carved it. My dad had helped me, but I still called it my tree.
優しい人だな。
Something about seeing my name there made me open up, and we talked about everything that night in that old camouflage tent. I told him how much I love sketching and design, and how it would be a dream to study architecture in Seattle. I told him how I didn't get along with my friends much anymore, but that I didn't mind being alone. He told me he was there for me, and he joked that if all he had to do was write my name on a tree to finally get me to talk, he would have left me carved logs with novels on them in front of my room every morning. I don't know why it took me that long to realize it,
やっぱ
but
り
it was then I knew how much he had sacrificed for me.
やっぱりね、こう自分の父親はやっぱり自分のために自分の夢を捨てて、まあ家族を養っていたというか、子供をね、やっぱりやってるようにやっぱりやってくれたんだよ。一人を養う、家族を養う、それだけでもね、それだけでも苦労ってね、大変すごいからさ。普通の生活、普通の家族、普通の生活、そういうことだけでも実際はね、大変なんだよね。一人暮らしやいろいろ家族を持ってみてわかる。ああ、普通って大変なんだなってね。さあ、この後他に行く場所はあるのか、私は。なんだろうこれ。ああ、これが言ってたやつね。なるほど、製図。なるほど。あと私が向かうべきところ。あった。わかりやすく三角形書いてあるし。どれどれ？
On our property, there were old abandoned pieces of a shed and car long left unused. I used to ask him all the time who those people were that left all this junk, and I'm sure he got so tired of hearing it that he made up some elaborate stories how a brown bear ate them and haunted the
茶
woods
色いクマに食べられ
afterwards.
て森をさまよってる。
What's funny is I think it made those people seem
ど
more
うい
real,
うあれよ。
growing up thinking they were still hanging out like they couldn't say goodbye. I used to tell my friends how I could swear I saw spirits move near the water, and that always freaked them out. I guess it didn't bother me, because the way I saw it, they were normal people with old cars and sheds, just trying to figure out how to survive
変な
and be
子供と
happy
い
in
うか
the
確
middle
か
of
に
nowhere.
それはね
It was a cool thought that they didn't want to leave, but you know,
変
I
わっ
was a
てる
weird kid.
いや、私も人のこと
Well,
言えないけ
you
ど、
had good company since those ghosts like living in a place where they were brutally devoured.
まあ、そばにいて飽きないってやつだね。多分。近くにいて面白いっていうかなんていうか、毎日単調に過ごしてる分には楽しいっていうかね、そういうことなんじゃないかな。でもそういう人が近くにいるだけでもいいよね。まあ私は比較的そういう人じゃないからあれだけど、私にはいたかな、そういう人。考えてみて、どうだったかな。もう親友ともかれこれもう5年以上は会ってないしな。それにもう親友とはもしかしたらもう永遠にもう会えないかな、私は。かな。また会えたらって言いたいところだけど難しいかな。いや、多分私は会いたいと思っていても、多分向こうが会いづらい。多分会いづらいと考えてるかもね。できれば私は会いたいんだけどね。また何かある。
Almost all stories follow the same kind of structure, and it starts with an inciting event, and then there's rising action, and then there's a climax, and then there's falling action.
101。
And it's actually really difficult to make an interesting story where you only hear these two people talking, and it's spoken through a dream that's already happened. And the most of the action is about this animal that isn't directly related to this couple at all. So I don't know what I was thinking, but my hope was that it would create some interesting things and connections that I didn't see before. And that was kind of the whole exercise of making the first tree.
この1回で配信っていうかゲームが終わるのかな、もしかしたら。まあどこまで続けるかわからないけど。そしてこれが3つ目の、いわばツルツルで冷たくてうんたらかんたらな。そして木のつるは退かれた。さあ、あそこの木のつるで巻きつかれた場所に行ってみよう。あの奥には多分湖があるはず。場所忘れたけど。これはまた変なものある。ベビーベッドかな、これ。うちにもね、実家にもね、ベビーベッドなんだろう、何年使ってるやつあったかな、実家に。私の姉上とか姉妹全員が使われたベビーベッドが未だにね、実家にあるんだよね。かれこれもう20年、いや25年、それ以上かな、いや 30？ なんかずっと古い時からあるっていうからさ、私もどれぐらいずっと置いてあるのか私もわからないぐらいなんだよね。 そこに行くと次の話が進むような気がする。どれどれ？その前になんでこんな微妙なところにこんなもの置いたのか。あったあったあった。多分ここまで行くと何かあるんだろうね。
Perpetrator stood nearby, unfazed, like nothing
被害
was
者は
wrong.
無実。何も間違ってないかの
My
ただずに。
dad is dead, and he's never coming back, Rachel. I can tell you these stories, but I can never reminisce with him again. He can never hold a grandchild that we'll probably never be able to have. I can never talk to him again, and I'll never be able to say I'm sorry for everything.
It was really important to me that the wolf in this story that takes the fox's cubs,
親父は殺さ
that
れ
it
たのだ。
wasn't explained at all. Like it's just this entity that's in the background. And of course it's supposed to represent something bigger than a wolf or even the fox. It's supposed to represent like the specter of death, and it comes when you least expect it. There's no justification. He's just there, always watching.
少しずつ少しずつ。いやー、届くかな。お母さんこれ知らない？大丈夫？怖い。でも実際こういう危ない場所の斜面でもさ、実際に歩いてみるとなんかこう、あ、行きそうじゃねとは思うんだよね。まあといっても砂とかでジャリジャリジャリって落ちるかもしれないんだけど、にゃん、スレッド取れない、取れない。よしよしよしよしよし。落ちる落ちる落ちる落ちる。怖い。わざわざここを通れっていうあれもどうよ。だってこういうのって一回逃したらさ、ダメなんだよ。もうひどいよね、そういうの。これはどう続いていくの、これから先。うわっ、いい声。怖い怖い。あ、ここに何かあるとか。いや、そういうわけでもなかった。なんだよ。もうちょっと安全に降りる構成はないのでしょうか。でもこういう斜面でもさ、鹿とかは普通に歩けるんだよね。よくダムとか行くとね、鹿とかが、野生のカモシカとかがね、こういう斜面を普通に歩いて草を食べてるとかよくしてるからね。急いで逃げることもできるし。お、あったあったあったあった。これ永遠に登れないやつだよ。これ雪降ってたらスキーみたいな感じになるんだけどさ、いかんせんこれだからね。あとは走ってくだけかな。なんかどこかにもしかしてあるような気がしてならないのが。大丈夫だね。まっすぐ進んでいけば何かがある。人を信じていこう。あ、また接続が切れてる。またチャットランの接続が切れるね、よく。はい、カッツェ。こんばんは。今更気づきました。そろそろまともな道がやっと出てきた。どれどれ？見た感じ一本道だね。一本道みたい。それにしてもこの空がこう 入道雲があるっていうのも夏の時期なのかな。夏の時期っぽく見える。それともただ単に気候の違い？お、なんかある。やっと先が見えてきたよ。広い広い。この先には何かがある。何かがあるかは行ってみないとわからない。まあ猪木がプロレスラー猪木がいかにも何かのそういう名言がありそうな感じだす。行けばわかるさ。
そろそろ落ちるね、グッナイトーゼ殿。
はい、ライクさん。おやすみ。
I need to go to bed. I just can't talk about this
お、
anymore.
ちょうどよく
Good night.
寝なきゃだって。ってことはこの物語はこれおしまい？そして現実を知るのかな。ってことはこの話もクライマックスっていうことか。周りには何もないしね。あの崖の先には何が待ってるんだろう。ついでにこっちの方を見ておこう。何もない。やっぱり何かが待ってるんだろうね、あの先には。行こうか。多分終わりが近づいてる。あら、これは
Joseph, you can't go to sleep feeling like this. I'm sorry for everything, and I know you need space, but I'm here for you. You don't need to feel so lost. Joseph, have I ever told you what my mother was like?
今度は女性の方の話だ。
Hello, my name is Elise Whaley, and I was the voice actress for Rachel. I'm also David's wife,
レイチェル役をやってい
so
る
that was convenient for working
何々
together.
です。
I was actually the voice actress for his first game, Home is Where One Starts,
声優さんだね。
and I guess that I did a good enough job that David wanted me back, so I did the voice acting for this one as well. David definitely coached me through it because I'm pretty inexperienced when it comes to that. Home is Where One Starts was my first time ever doing voice acting of any kind.
折り鶴って海
And
外
we
にはあ
watched
る
a
のか
lot
な
of trailers of movies we liked to get the voice right of female leads who were talking in the trailer and try to mimic that and bring that into the game so that had the right kind of feel and the right kind of atmosphere for the voice. My character actually is the same character from Home is Where One Starts. If you've played that game, you probably connected that together. And this is her probably about 15 years later, maybe 20 years later, in this game. I was happy to revisit the character of Rachel. We kind of leave her in an ambiguous spot, and Home is Where One Starts. It definitely ends on a hopeful note, but there's not a lot of details. And in this game, you see that she's able to move on through a lot of her issues that she had from her abusive home and be able to start her own family and start a new cycle without that abuse, which I think is really inspiring.
You know what it's like not to have a mom at home. And you know how hard that made my childhood. What helped me was watching the birds in the morning before the school bus came. I thought that my mother was one of those birds, and it made me want to be free like her. My mom taught me how to fold origami cranes while she was in the hospital. So I told myself I would fold one every day until I could fly myself. I think we both have always loved animals, And for me, that love started with a dog. Sometimes this Rottweiler would come up to our property line and wait at the fence for me, but only once in a while. I was sure to check every day immediately after school, and it usually ended in disappointment. I would even steal money from my passed-out dad just so I could buy these off-brand dog biscuits. Even when she did stop by, she never went beyond the fence. Why was she so scared?
So it's always interesting working with your spouse because, especially on a creative project, because they want your feedback, but it's something that's also dear to their heart, and they're dear to your heart, and you definitely don't want to hurt their feelings. So I was a little nervous when David asked me, he had finally finished writing the script, and he asked me to go over it and see what I thought. And I had minored in English. I majored in art, but I minored in English, so I felt like I had a little bit of experience. But I was definitely like a little scared because you don't want to be too harsh, but you also want to be honest. And it was the biggest relief when I read the script, and I was like, oh good, my husband's a good writer. I don't have to change that much about this, just a few like grammatical things. And that was just like the biggest relief for me because it can be a tricky balance working with your spouse and making sure that that honesty is there, but also that love and the support is there as well.
I think my dad was the opposite of your dad in almost every way, except he was in the military as well. He coped with alcohol of every kind. The trailer started falling apart, he got angry, and I withdrew. More and more I became the weird quiet kid who made lots of origami birds and carried dog biscuits around. I think we were pretty similar when it came to being the weird kids. And that same sincerity in college was one of the reasons I was so drawn to you. Life got worse and worse, and at one point, I really didn't think I could survive another day with my soul still intact. I had no real friends, let alone neighbors, since we lived in the middle of nowhere. I should have talked to my teacher, but I was scared what he would do if he found out. As I waited for the school bus one morning, I walked around until I found something in an abandoned shed. Something I can't put into words.
So we're talking about home is where one starts a lot, so if you haven't played that game, maybe this doesn't make as much sense, or maybe this is a little plug that you should go play it. But in that game, it actually features one of my artworks. I work as an artist and paper cutting actually, and David used one of my artworks as a graffitied stencil in Home is Where One Starts that's against the wall of this shack. And it actually shows up again in the first tree, just a fragment of it. The first tree, the title actually comes from one of my artworks that I made back in 2015, I want to say. And I made this artwork while I was pregnant with our first child. And it had a lot of meaning for me, and David actually helped me come up with the title. And he asked it because I was really struggling. I was like, I have no idea what to call this, and I always go to David for title ideas and to bounce ideas off of him, and that's like the only way I can ever come up with a title is by talking with him. So we were talking back and forth and looking at this artwork, and he said, well, what kind of like movies or shows were you watching while you're making the artwork? Because my work's pretty tedious, so sometimes I'll watch a show or do some Netflix binging while I'm creating it. And I was like, oh, I actually watched Tree of Life a ton, and then we're like, Tree of Life, and we started thinking more about that, and then arrived at the first tree. So it started off as one of my artworks and then became a part of David's art, which I think is really cool that we're able to share that title.
I summoned courage I didn't know I had, and I broke into my dad's room and found the key to the shed where he had locked my bike. I'll never forget that feeling. The wind rushing by my ears as the sun rose over fields of wheat. I was flying for the first time. I biked as far as my legs could take me until I found a house that felt friendly and that felt like home. Those strangers helped me in so many ways. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have found my foster family. And if it wasn't for my parents, I wouldn't have met you. You have strength, Joseph, and you're not as alone as you think.
It's all just so pointless, just waiting for life to happen. It's like having the home I always wanted is cursed out of my reach. The thought of being a parent myself, how could I do that when I couldn't even be a good son? I'm sorry, I know what you're saying. I just don't know how things will work out. These quiet hours will turn into years, and we'll wonder which roads passed us by.
Then we'll forge a new road together. Besides, I discovered for myself that one fateful morning where any hopeful road leads to. There may be thorns and mist, but it always leads to the same thing.
And what's that?
Family.
なるほど。
I'm so glad that you're part of my family, Rachel.
And I'm glad you're part of mine.
そうだね。最終的に行き着くところが家族であること。一番信頼できるのがやっぱり家族っていうことだからね。多分この先にはもう何もないでしょう。でも何かがあった。
A question I get a lot is why a fox? And it ties into just how important family is for me. And Fox is actually a family name from my wife's side, from Elise. These two people are having this conversation in the middle of the night.
なんでフォッツにしたの？多分その疑問が多分あそこで多分語られてるはずなんだよね。結局のところ英語でわからないけど。みんながいるね。うん。まさにファミリーってそのものだね。ちゃんとな友達化だよね。もうここ最近じゃさ、なんかこう鹿シミュレーターとかでさ、トナカイシミュレーターとかでこの銃を持つ鹿ばっかりを見てたからさ、もう鹿だけでなんかもう、まあもしかしてみたいなあれを感じてしまう自分が情けない。本来はこうあるべきなんだろうな。なんかこうやって見ると、ああ自然だなーって思うよね。これどの構図でもさやっても絵になるからずるいそういうものを楽しんじゃうよ。シュナイドさん、こんばんは。ザ・ファーストツリー。まあ、いわゆるね、ナレーションの方の、まあ、人生というか、そういうことをね、まあ、鑑賞というか、狐のことについてはもはやね、どうでもいい感じで、ナレーションの人のね、まあ、人生というか、そういうことを、追体験というか、お話を聞いて、何かをこう察するみたいな、そういう雰囲気ゲームです。結構大人びてるね、ゲームとしては。まあこれは確かに受ける人には受ける、このゲームは。よくあるまあ一人の人の人生だとは思うけれど、やっぱりね、一人一人のそういう人生ってさ、みんなやっぱり十人十色でさ、辛いことだったり悲しいことだったりもあるけれど、 やっぱそれはそれとしてもね、やっぱり男性女性一緒になって家族になって通常のありがたいことがね、なかなか難しいものなんだよね。一人一人がその悩みがね、本人にしては難しいと思ってみても、他人から見ると鼻で笑われるぐらい簡単なんて言われるけどね、やっぱり本人にしてみればね、たとえその簡単なことでも難しいことってのもあるし、そうもいかない。なんでそうもいかない原因が何なのか、まあなんというかね、感情というか、なんというか、何かこう心の引っかかりがあるんだよね。そういう時心でブレーキをかけてしまう。そういうものによってね、そういう一人一人の、心のブレーキどころにあるかはわからないけど、それによって簡単な問題でも難しいと思ったり、難しい問題でも他の人だったら簡単に思ったり、そんな風になる感じなんだかな。
The fox knew her last cub would be waiting for her at the first tree. She was almost there. The rain cascaded onto the jade valley where the entrance to the tree was. Life was protected there, because that's where life began. It was now only a mother and a daughter left. Items from my life still dotted the ground as she moved closer to her destination and destiny.
こっからが狐のお話なんだね。やっとこのキャラクター、操作しているキャラクターの話がやっとやってくるんだね。こんなところにあるのずるいね。もうちょっと分かりやすいところにあってもいいじゃん。もうちょっと分かりやすいところにあってもよくない？これだね。この下に降りていけばいいと。シュッ。さあ、果たしてこの話のこの狐の結末がどういうことになるんだかがわからない。そして何があったかもこれでわかる。何もないよね。あそこだね、行く場所。先の結末は何を待つか。感傷に浸る、思い出に浸る。さあ、これには何が待ってるか。
Usually what catches people's attention of the first tree is the visuals, of course. And I was inspired by a lot of people making these levels. The second level is inspired by just these beautiful autumn photos of a real forest. And this level, the Jade Valley, is inspired by the artwork of Heather Penn, who did the Overland games. I just love those greens with a lot of gray in it. I love the strong vignettes in the corners of the frame. And of course, this environment pack was made by the the very talented Swedish designer Mikael Gustafsson. And of course, his initial designs inspired me, and I was able to build off of that. And I'm really grateful that he allowed his environment pack to be made publicly available.
このゲームはスタートした時からもうスタッフロールなのかもしれない。
At the end of high school, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time. Drive. I looked into the best architecture schools on the West Coast, then got a dose of reality when looking at other students' portfolios and the high cost of tuition. I still wanted to be something, to be the next Alvaro Siza, and to make those thousands of sketches worth something in my grand history. But now even an internship sounds impossible. Siza helped me understand how essential emotion is in architecture, and he also said light is the real composer of space. I like to think these glints of light, like not finding a job, or even a strange dream about a fox, are something I should be thankful for, even if the illuminated space is something I'm less than comfortable with.
いわゆるこの作品はこのナレーションの人の、人生そのものなんだね。やっぱり小さい頃から夢を見るたびにこれをずっと見ていて、いわゆる今まで夢の中で見たいってものが全ての自分の原点だったということかな。いろいろ考え方はいろいろあるでしょう。あれだ、他のところに行く必要はなさそう。あとは向こうに行くだけだね。普段ずっとね、雨も降らないようなずっとの方の生活してるとさ、まあそれが日常なんだけどね、時々降ってくる雨の音がね、心地いいよね、こういう風な音。
My dad was super supportive with my college plans. To a point. Things were okay until this terrible accident happened. I guess a forklift flipped over due to a bad axle, and it crushed one of the workers there. My dad didn't eat for days, even though he wasn't directly involved. It devastated him. Not only did it hurt the business, but it just freaked him out. He would talk in his sleep, muttering things about firing people and saying sorry. One fateful day he approached me, said that since my school search wasn't going well, I should finally be a man and take over the family business. He said one day he was going to die, and that all of his work, sacrifice, and even that man's life would be wasted in vain. I just lost it. Teenage me just exploded at the thought. I screwed up. I said things I shouldn't have. He was having a crisis, and I pretty much spit in his face.
若い時の自分を殴りたい。そう言ったとしても戻ってこないんだからどうしようもないっていうと悲しい現実だけど、いろいろあるんだよね。若い時は若い時の感情のままでいっちゃうから。
By now, you've probably caught on to some of the themes I love to explore in these stories. And the big one is of this tree, the first tree on Earth. And a lot of people have asked me, what does that mean? Why a tree? And basically it boils down to this delicate balance between nature and its relationship with life and death. And I love these stories where they put like these microscopic relationships, like something of like a father and a son, and juxtapose it next to this epic story of like the creation of the universe and the first tree on earth, and how they can be equally as important, because in my mind, like, my family is as important as like the creation of the earth. And it reminds me of like some of the stories I love, like The Road by Cormac McCarthy, or The Tree of Life by Terrence Malick. Basically, I wanted to make sure the player felt that there was a higher power than themselves, and that there was something watching over them as they went through this story.
の方に何かある。これは医療ベッド。親が寝ていたって言われる医療ベッドだね。あとどこを目指せばいいんだろう。目印も何もなくなると本格的にどうすればいいかわからないや。いや、あそこに建物がある。あれを目指せばいいのか。いや、ほんと？あれの、あの建物を目指すの？ずっと気づかなかったけど。まあ、今のところ目印になりそうなものがあれしかないし。ただ、どうやって行くんだろう。ここにも家があった。これは、あ、入れるわけじゃないのね。あ、入れるわけじゃないの。なんかいかにも入れそうな雰囲気がありそうだったけど、そういうわけじゃないんだ。いかにも入れそうな感じがするけれど。あ、そういうわけじゃない。そういうわけじゃないの。なんかこっから先を行ってはいけない気がする。そして崖の上にあるあの家だね。どこやっていくんだろう。多分どうにかしていけるんだろうけど、まあ必ず嫌なことはやってくるのは悲しいことだよ。あの上の方のところまで登っていけるのかな。いける感じがしないんだよね。この上なんだけど、何このデスストランディング。あれ、上に登れてしまった。中が無理やりだけど。これはもしかしてあ、これ謎の壁でいけないのかな。なんかいけなさそうだね。せっかくあるんだから何かこうあるんじゃないかなと思ったんだけど。 そういうわけじゃないか。本格的にどうすればいいかわかんない。あれだ。これから行かなきゃいけない場所。そしてこれはずるい。丸太の後ろにあるってのはちょっとずるくないかしら。あれがファーストツリー。このゲームの最大の。はあ、これだけじゃ見えないね。それはそうだわ。ファーストツリーはあそこにあるんだ。長い長い旅になりそうだった。こっから先でようやく行ける。そう、ファーストツリーがとうとう見えてきた。生い茂り方とかちゃんと表現したんだろうな。とうとうその時がやってきたんだね。
Was that the last time you talked to him?
No, I called on holidays, and he would call on my birthday.
なるほど。
I guess we acted like nothing ever happened, which was stupid. Didn't want to ask about his lumberyard, and I'm sure he didn't want to ask about my job search. I never went back and
きっ
visited.
とね、やっぱベストボー
I
イが
think the
何なの
last
か。
conversation we had was about what movies we had seen and what exactly a best boy is in the credits.
いつ亡くなるかはわ
I
からな
thought
い
he
ん
would
で
be
ね。
here so much longer.
そういうのは突然としてやってくるから。やってきたね。
In the distance, the first tree illuminated the wasteland. She couldn't go home anymore. She did the only thing she was capable of. Moving forward. My dad died alone in the middle of the wilderness. I should have been talking to him more. I should have done a lot of things differently.
現実を受け止めたんだ。
If the first tree on earth brought life with it, if it taught the birds to sing and fly and showed saplings how to grow, what could it do for us?
Obviously, there's a really emotional part, but I'm going to talk through it anyway. A lot of people correctly identify that Journey was like a huge inspiration for the first tree. And this part it is like a callback to that part where you're climbing up the mountain with your friend you don't know, and it just gets snowier and snowier, and you just keep going, and then eventually you collapse. And that made a huge impact on me. And I don't even own a PlayStation 3 or 4. I rented a PlayStation from like a rent-a-center right after
えよう。全部消えたし、やめてよ。それはやめて。しょうがないな。なんでしょう、どう伝えよう。うーん。どうあれすればいいかな。どう伝えよう。もしかして。なんて伝えよ いう感じかな。これかな。消えた。
I guess her journey was over. But I have no idea. It was only a dream. A distraction from tomorrow.
I don't think dreams normally bring back to memory so many important feelings. Maybe it was just a dream, but it was also a gift.
Yeah, I suppose. But tomorrow we're getting on a plane to the last place on Earth I want to be. The only person that would have made the trip worth it is gone.
You're going to see him and be with him one last time before you say goodbye. I have one last quote for you by Emerson, sealed in an imaginary letter from me to you. It is the secret of the world that all things subsist and do not die, but only retire a little from sight and afterward return again. Go to sleep, my love. We have a big day tomorrow, but I'll be there with you every step of the way.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. Good night, Rachel.
Good night, Joseph.
6ヶ月後。ああ、そういうことね。ナレーションさんの方の、そういうことか。あ、動ける。いきなりなんか FPS っていうか TPS になったし。見えづら。
You're probably thinking, what is going on? And that was definitely my intention for this epilogue part of the first tree. This is my favorite part. This is the part I'm most proud of. And it definitely, it's supposed to evoke this, what is going on? Where am I? I was not expecting this. When I was marketing and blogging about making the game, I never showed anyone this part. I never told anyone. I never shared screenshots. I wanted it to be a complete surprise. And I also wanted it to feel a little creepy because it's totally inspired by those nights where you wake up in the middle of the night and you can just hear the sound of the wind outside the house and you can't sleep. So you walk around in this twilight stupor. And I would say the whole first part of this game where you play as the fox, its whole purpose is to set up for this conclusion. So yeah, I would encourage you to look around and see how many things you recognize from the earlier part of the game.
いきなりゲームが変わりすぎていきなりびっくりしてんだけど。私はキツネの話をやっていたのではないんだっけ。急激にゲームが変わった。ホラーかな。 あ、車だ。まあ、とりあえず。ファミリアドリーム。家族の夢。
I tried hard to foreshadow this epilogue just because I wanted it to be a surprise, but I didn't want it to feel too out of place that it would be humorous. And so Joseph, earlier in the game, he would say things like, I felt like I was right behind the fox the whole time. In my mind, the camera perspective acts as a metaphor for who the player is, what they're seeing, if the camera represents Joseph, or just like that video game trope of having the camera follow you. I guess the big question I wanted the player to ask themselves, is this a dream as well? And if so, does that even matter?
さっきの狐は簡単に言えばジョセフの夢だったんだよね。さあ、これから私はどこに行けばいいんだろう。狐毛と思ってたものが急遽普通にこんな風になってしまって驚きを隠せない。あれ？本当にどこに行けばいいんだろう。困ったな。後ろ？ゲーム性変わりすぎ。まあいいや。一応狐の方のやつは夢っていう解釈だし。ただこれからどこに向かえばいいの？テント。ああ、親父と建てたテントってどういうこと？おお。昔の思い出かな？多分。
What the hell?
なんだろう。あれはもしかして
I purposefully fade out the crosshair in the middle of the screen because I wanted it to be a direct callback to the camera following the fox in the first 5 levels of the first tree. I wanted it to go for that gut reaction that this was very familiar, yet totally in a different world.
全然狐に追いつけない。何この曲。確実にもう泣かせに来てる。何この演出。やばい、涙腺が緩む。私の涙腺に緩む。ああ、やばい。いやー、ずるいな、その演出。ずるいよ、それは。ちょっと。やめてとは言わないけど、 ばい。あ、やばい。それしたずるいわ。やばい、涙が出そうになる。すごい泣きそうだわ。あー、ずるいよこの演出。いやー、これはずるいよ。あー、ずるいよそれは。
What is this?
Thank you for making it to the end of my game, and I hope you enjoy the personalized message that is featured on the trunk of this tree. It's a message submitted by another player that's retrieved from a database, and it's retrieved at random. And I did this because I wanted people, even if they feel alone through trials of death, that there is a community, an invisible community supporting each other. So thanks for playing.
忘れない。死んでも。可能であればダメです。はあ、もう着きましたね。いやー、いいゲームでした。さあ、皆さんはこのゲームを通して何を感じるかは人それぞれかもしれないけど、なんでしょう、言葉に言いようもないような、そういう何かをね、感じてくれれば 非常にいいかなと私は思います。一人一人ね、人生というものは山あり谷あり、いろんなものがあるからね。みんなね、自分の人生を精一杯生きてほしい。なんというか、いろいろ考えさせられるというより、なんともね、あれだな。ということで、皆様、このザ・ファーストツリーの配信はここで終わりにしたいと思います。それではね、また次の配信の方で会いましょう。皆様、それでは See you next live.